Yo, what's up, guys? Trader Mayne here on a bloody Friday, hence the red hat. I'm sorry I don't have the green screen up. Too lazy today. Too busy watching my net worth just absolutely plummet through the floor. So wanted to get a quick video out. This isn't edited or anything like that, like my usual videos. Excuse me. I just want to get this out here. Obviously, a lot of craziness going on in the market. So I just wanted to quickly get this video out for you guys and just talk about the charts. Mainly going to focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum here. We're going to just be looking at the technicals, and we will take a quick peek at the stock market as well. And just kind of give you guys my thoughts as someone who has been in this market a long time. I've seen my fair share of market crashes and dumps and market cycles and all-time highs, and just maybe pass along some wisdom. And I don't use wisdom like I'm some all-knowing, the word wisdom like I'm some all-knowing person, but I speak from experience, and it's just my experience at the end of the day. So most of this is going to be anecdotal, but hopefully some of it will be helpful to you guys. I know that when we see market moves like this, they can really suck. If you've lost a lot of money, if you were long, if you're fully exposed to spot, whatever, it can be rough, and it can be very challenging to manage and maintain, a clear mind, and, keep your emotions in check to obviously make decisions, right? You want to be objective when you're making decisions. You don't want to be chasing, FOMOing, shorting when it's already down, massive percents, or trying to catch a knife out of, revenge or anything like that. Those are not ideal situations to trade, and they're generally going to hurt you more than they will help you. So I just want to kind of, tell everyone to chill. Obviously, I understand, this kind of move sucks, and you're probably down significantly from where you were yesterday, 2 days ago, maybe obviously a couple months ago probably as well, unless you stabled up or hedged near the top. But what you have to realize about crypto, the thing that makes it great is this volatility. We have these crazy runs that we go on where we go from $3,000 to $60,000, right? $200 to $20,000, and conversely from $20,000 back to $3,000, from $60,000 back to $30,000, and potentially even lower. So if you enjoy the volatility on the way up, you have to realize that it's a double-sided sword. There is going to be that same amount of crazy volatility on the way down. Things can dump a lot further than you can expect, just like they can pump a lot harder and a lot higher than you're probably expecting or are prepared for. So, in times like these, obviously I understand the desire to be glued to the screen, to want to be trying to, catch a knife or, salvage some trades and things like that. I completely get it. It's completely reasonable. My biggest piece of advice would be to be very careful, in times like these. Your main goal when the market is not just in kind of your main goal all the time in trading, right, is preservation of capital. If you don't have money, you can't play the game, right? If you're out of tokens, you can't play the game anymore. If you're out of bullets, you can't shoot the gun anymore. And that is very true in trading. And unfortunately, events like this, if you're not careful, can wipe out months and weeks of really hard work that you did, systematically growing your account, winning trades, taking losses, but keeping them small. And then all of a sudden you get into a bad trade, stuff starts dumping, you start freaking out, you start FOMOing into longs, trying to catch the knife, and all of a sudden you've wiped out 30, 40, 50% of your account when it wasn't necessary. So capital preservation is the name of the game here. You want to be focused on protecting your capital from further downside. Obviously, if the market continues to dump, what does that mean? Well, if you're in spot longs, okay, you need to find a way to hedge, or maybe you need to sell off some to tether. If you're in tether, but you're trying to catch the bottom here, don't just keep trying to catch the knife and let that number erode, because when Bitcoin does eventually bottom, you want to have as much money available to you as possible to obviously get back in the market for the next upswing. So, it's okay to take some time away from the charts. Like, yeah, you might miss a potential, temporary bottom, or you might miss a trade, or things like that. But your most important thing here right now is going to be your mind and your ability to keep your emotions in check. Obviously, please, for the love of God, don't do anything stupid, right? At the end of the day, it is just money. I know that some of you have made significant returns in the bull run, maybe more than you thought, maybe not as much as you thought, but at the end of the day, no matter how much you've given back in periods like this that we're in, or periods like this, it is never, ever, ever worth hurting yourself or doing anything remotely, of the sort, right? Please don't. I unfortunately have known people, not personally, but through Discords and stuff, who have taken their own life due to trading losses, and it's horrific and awful and is absolutely not worth it. So, please talk to people, reach out to friends, reach out to other traders who you can commiserate with. This is a learning experience. It may not feel like one, but it is, and you're gonna be better for it when you survive it, because you will. So please don't do anything crazy or anything like that. Obviously, I know the internet and Twitter can seem like a cold place and stuff, but I definitely care about you guys, and I wouldn't want anyone to do anything silly because they lost some money, right? You will. The beauty of the market is there's always opportunity, whether it's going up or it's going down. There's always opportunity to make money. So keep that in mind. Take it as a lesson and move on. So with all that kind of soft, emotional support stuff out of the way, let's dig into the charts here a little bit. I'm just going to give a very quick high-level review of Bitcoin, and then a short-term look as well. Same with Ethereum, and some potential targets for downside, maybe some areas where we can bounce or will bounce to, and then we will kind of go from there. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the partners of this video. So obviously I am partnered with Prime XBT. You can see the logo somewhere in the corner, or is it over there? So I've been working with the Prime team for a while. Great platform, great UI, and they've blessed me with a link and a code that you as my followers can enter. It's Mayne, MAYNE 50, using the link below to get 25% off of your trading fleet fees. So shout out to the Prime team, really appreciate them. And if you want to help me out, use that link in the description, use code Mayne50, and get a nice discount on your trading fees there. So the other partner of this video is CYB. So I wanted to talk about kind of quickly what CYB does, and kind of give you guys an opportunity actually as well to participate in an airdrop. So one thing that I did not do very well over the last year, 2 years was interact with enough of these kind of Web3 DeFi protocols where, people were getting massive airdrops, and some of them turned into a lot of money. Not all of them, obviously, but, it's free money at the end of the day. To be eligible, all you have to do is use the protocol. So CYB is going to be doing a very large airdrop on the Ethereum network. So all you got to do is obviously use the protocol, interact with it. So what CYB is, they're calling it Cyber. They're a decentralized search engine. So it's going to be a Web3 search engine. They want to compete with things like Google. And one of the advantages is it allows you to get relevant search responses without any of the intermediaries that you would have using something like Google or Amazon or Facebook. So they do have a native token called BOOT, B-O-O-T. So all you have to do to participate in the airdrop is obviously interact with the protocol, check it out. I also suggest you follow their Twitter and their website, cyb.ai and /Genesis to get all the latest news about the airdrop and just news about the platform itself. So that's on the webpage here. You click Genesis and this will have all the latest up-to-date information for you. You can also check out a little bit more about how the platform works, what it does, some of the things it does versus, what, its biggest competitor would be. Google can't do. So highly suggest you check them out. I'm going to send you some information or leave you some information, excuse me, in the description of this video. I'll include the white paper. The founder of the project also had a really great interview that you can check out on YouTube, and then another video about the project itself. So I'll include all that information in the description of the video if you're interested in checking them out. Yeah, I would definitely at least sign up, interact with the protocol, connect your wallet. You're going to be eligible for the airdrop. And in times like these, free money is definitely something we could all use. So with that out of the way, let's get into the chart. So we've been talking about Bitcoin being bearish for a while, right? We had this deviation, right? Just like we had here, deviation above all-time high. The sun is going down. The lighting is going to change. Uh-oh. Deviation above all-time high, right? Once it got back below, that was considered bearish. Obviously, bearish. So I think me and a lot of people on Twitter, during each of these consolidations, we're expecting a bigger bounce, right? So a lot of us, I think, we're expecting a bigger relief rally to the upside before continuation to the downside. I've been talking about this consistently on stream. I've been longing down here, but I've made it very clear that any sort of longs I've been taking are up legs before another leg down, because for a while now, the high time frames have been putting in bearish market structure. There's your deviation. There's your break in market structure. The daily chart has been in bearish territory for almost 2 months now, or about exactly 2 months now. What was the top here? Top was November 11th, broke market structure on the 18th. So a little over 2 months, lower highs and lower lows on the daily. So I've been very consistent in saying that any sort of rally, and the rallies can be big, that's why I was trying to get into longs on them, are going to eventually lead to another leg down, where I do think we will make another lower low, because the high time frame trend is down. So I said you want to be very cautious on any up move, that as soon as it starts to show weakness, that's your sign to get out of your longs, hedge your bets, potentially look for shorts, because the prevailing trend is bearish. So one of the areas that we've been watching here is these lows down here, okay, as an area that is going to get run. And I still do believe that that is likely where we're headed, is a run below these lows here. But unfortunately for me, and I think a lot of other people on Twitter, is when we had this first consolidation, I thought we would get some sort of retest first, right? A move higher before lower. And same thing here. I mean, this is one candle. It's been a week that we are kind of in that, below 40 area, but was hoping we'd get a retest of this 45 to 46K area. You heard me, and I'm sure a lot of other people on Twitter talk about that area. There's the yearly open, there's the mid-range, there's a ton of confluence there that's like, okay, getting longs here, short here, back down. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and that's the way she goes sometimes. You're not always going to get that perfect retest that you want. You draw out that bearish order block or that broken, previous floor, and you're like, okay, price is broken through here. I'm going to wait for it to come and retest here, and then I'm going to short it, and I'm going to make a bunch of shekels. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes you get a shallow retrace, and then it sells off. Sometimes it will go over the level that you thought, and then you end up getting in longs, and then it gets back below, and then it sells off. And sometimes it just consolidates, like what we had here, and then it just sells off again. And the retrace, that was all you got. And on the lower time frames, they were showing some bearishness, and I got caught up in that. I definitely thought we were going to retrace, especially from this level here. I thought we were going to retrace towards 45, 46 before trading lower, and we didn't. So it is what it is, right? I got stopped out on a bunch of longs yesterday morning. And then I woke up this morning, obviously, to this candle. So all this does for me is confirm that we are still in a downtrend, still making lower lows and lower highs on all of the high time frames here. This is the most important low, I think, for us to pay attention to. I think there's a very good chance that we are coming down to fill in this area here. I mean, we've already basically tagged that level, but fill in this order block here. So this goes from 34,655 all the way down to 31,044. I do think this is going to get tagged. We're already very freaking close, obviously, but I do believe that there's a very good chance that we run these lows, and then potentially that is the deviation before a larger correction to the upside. I don't really know. But what I am saying is things can get a lot uglier before they get better. This is a pretty ugly weekly candle here. We're already down. We got 2 days left on the weekly candle. We're already down almost 20%. Well, going down below these lows would be a 35% drop from where we were at the start of the week and from where we are right now. Could be another 20+% drop before we find some significant support or some sort of area where you could get macro bullish again. Do I think we're going back to 20K? Do I think we're going back to sub 20K? Personally, no. Obviously, I'm not leaving anything off of the table. If we have some sort of, global disaster and, the stock market completely implodes or something like that, absolutely, things can get very, very ugly very quickly. You saw what happened with the COVID Black Swan event. We dropped like 50% here, 60% here. Anything can happen. Shit can get crazy. So be prepared for all situations, obviously. But I think in terms of just like a trading perspective, I'm looking at this order block here to get tagged, and I am eventually looking for these lows to get run. So I don't personally think the bottom is in yet. I think you're going to see a lot of bottom calls, just like we've seen for the past 2 months. Seen a lot of people calling bottom unsuccessfully, and I think that will continue. We have had a lot of liquidations, but I do think things can get uglier before they get better. So like I said earlier when we were up here, bounces are opportunities for you to hedge or look to short. The trend is down, okay? This seems like the most obvious target for me. Unless we get some sort of reclaim of like here, or at least of this new bearish order block that will confirm on a weekly close, and somehow we sweep these lows and we close back in there, then maybe the bottom is in. But for now, I think it's much more likely that we come and tag this order block and then eventually run these lows. Okay, so bounces are opportunities for you to get on the ride. So if you're heavy in spot, if you're heavy in altcoins, obviously you got to be careful, right? You have to treat everything like a trade. This is something I talk about all the time. Just because you take a trade and you're like, okay, well, I'm long here and my stop is here and my target is here and it's 2R. Okay, if I get stopped out, -1R, whatever, I'm fine, right? But if you're holding spot from 40K, right? You bought a bunch of spot at 40K, let's say. Well, where's that idea wrong? If we trade all the way back to here, is that spot buy still a good buy? Obviously not. Are you just going to hold it? What if we get really crazy and we go down to 20? Are you going to hold that spot for a 50% drawdown? Your spot and altcoin positions need to be treated. I mean, obviously, if you have cold storage stuff that you don't want to touch, I do, that's fine, right? But I still hedge those positions by trying to short and, having move money to stables and things like that. But if you're buying spot, right, trying to catch the bottom, your idea can be wrong, right? Let's say you bought spot here. Well, you could say, okay, well, if we close below the mid-range, I'm out. Okay, well, now you have that money back. Yeah, you took a loss on some of those buys, but now you can buy back again here. You still have to treat that like a trade. And so if you're in a bunch of altcoins as well, if this becomes a, serious bear market where we're going to drop, let's assume 80+%, that's what most bear markets do. Let's just assume 80%. Let's say we do see sub 20K. Are you going to hold an altcoin that's probably going to go down 90+% in that time? You're just going to hold it and wait for it to come back next cycle, or do you have a plan, right? So what I highly suggest you do right now is, delete the lines on your charts, start fresh, try and be as unemotional as possible, looking at your assets, where your money is, how it's deployed, and make a plan because things can get worse. I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom here. I'm just trying to give you the realities of the market right now. We've been in a downtrend for 2 months. And if you just plan on holding shit all the way down, that's totally fine. That's up to you. But me personally, I'm in the game of capital preservation. So if I bought, I know a bunch of these alts were running, right? Going crazy. We were looking at these FONA alts in my last stream, and I even gave some long ideas on them. All those longs got stopped out, obviously. Some of these alts are down 40%, in the last couple of days. So you want to, let's say you own one spot from, here. You bought a bunch here and you didn't take any profit on this ride. Well, what happens if this thing goes down and retraces this entire move, right? Are you going to cut that spot here, or are you just going to hold it all the way back down? You need to treat it like a trade. Just because it's an investment and it's spot instead of like a leverage trade, it doesn't mean you shouldn't use risk management and have an idea where that, purchase of spot, that trade idea, because that's what it is invalidated. Obviously, I hope that we bottom soon and that the stock market doesn't completely unravel and things don't get, absolutely hideous, but anything can happen and you need to be prepared for that. So just trying to share that with you guys. Hopefully that helps. This is kind of my high level view on Bitcoin here. We had that news about Maker and them selling a bunch of ETH. I mean, in hindsight here, guys, and I'm upset I missed this too, right? But 12-hour SFP, that was the end for this range. Pretty much the same thing here, right? Deviated, back below, retest, another retest, shit the bed. Right? I mean, I don't know. I should have probably been short this rally when it failed to hold above Monday's high and just completely nuked after that, right? So it is what it is. It sucks, but this is a downtrend, right? No two ways about it. And in a downtrend, when price moves up, you want to look for reasons to get bearish, right? Price moves up, swing fails a key high, drops back down. Price gets up, deviates back below, sells off again. Price goes up, right? Runs these highs, deviates back below, bearish retest, boom. So this is just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Downtrend. So how low can this go? We've kind of talked about this. If you're looking for, to get in longs, you're catching a knife down here. You're better off waiting for us to reclaim a level than just assume that this is the low. It looks like it could be a low for now. This looked like it could be a low for a couple hours, right? If we get back above here, okay, now you have a risk-defined trade because you can enter on the SR flip of this breaker and your stop goes below there or below here. And then maybe we'll see some relief. I don't know. But you want to be careful trying to catch a knife. It's a very easy and quick way to burn through a bunch of money trying to guess, which one of these potential rallies is going to be the one that actually has a relief bounce. It's the weekend now as well, so volume is going to be lower, obviously. So just be careful, guys. This does look like it's potentially, ran below there, but it's holding. So maybe this is a temporary low and we get some relief going into the weekend. But any sort of bounce, I think, is an opportunity to look for a short going into next week. I don't think stocks are done selling off, so I wouldn't be surprised if crypto is not done selling off as well. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully this kind of makes sense in terms of talking about the trend. Potential areas where this could go down to. I'm thinking that, gun to my head, the ideal situation is we run these lows, right? And then reclaim the range low. So maybe we get a big move down, 24, 25, 26K, and then reclaim quickly. We can go lower. But if I had to guess, because this is a guess purely, some sort of deviation below the range low, 24, 25, 26,000. So a couple $1,000s below the range low, get back above that range low. That's your massive long opportunity for hopefully at least some large relief. But I think this move caught a lot of people off guard. I didn't see a lot of people who were, super, there's a few counts obviously who were bearish along the way, but I think a lot of people have been trying to catch the low for a while, expecting at least a relief bounce. I mean, I knew that we were going to trade lower because I'm like, the trend is down, but I wanted a higher bounce before I flip short. I was trying to long into a short and ended up missing the short completely. And getting stopped out on some longs. So fuck me, right? But yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I'll take a quick look at Ethereum here. Ethereum obviously looking awful as well. Same as Bitcoin. This is about as clear of a downtrend as you can get. We have had a big expansion candle here. We are kind of into some support. So maybe this is a temporary low, right? Maybe this is a temporary low and we get some sort of relief on Ethereum before further downside. But ultimately, if you're looking at Ethereum, I think the most obvious lows similar to Bitcoin are down here. Way the fuck down here. So if Bitcoin is going to trade lower, Ethereum could come and get these lows, which is sub 2K. So first area I'd be looking at on Ethereum is probably here, like 2200, just below 2200 for a bounce. If this area fails to hold price, I think we run these lows sub 2K. But again, this is a downtrend. If we get some sort of relief, you want to be looking for reasons to short Ethereum, not for longing for much higher and it's going to go all the way back turbo to 5K. Any sort of relief, I think, is an opportunity to look to get short or at least hedge your bets. If you're using DeFi protocols like we saw with the Maker thing, right? I'm not super fluent in DeFi and all of this stuff, but my understanding is generally you have to have collateral that you're putting up to allow you to use these projects, whether you're borrowing, DAI against it, or you're using it to stake into a farm or whatever. But generally these DeFi protocols, you will have a liquidation price depending on how much collateral you're putting out. And my understanding is what Maker was saying is there was a huge amount, and I think a Lido protocol also announced like there's a bunch of positions, people who are using the protocol who, if price drops another 20%, they can get liquidated, right? The protocol can get, or your funds can get liquidated. So be careful. ETH is in a precarious spot, and absolutely it can drop another 20%, no problem from here. So be very careful, obviously, be smart, but we've run a low here. We're into support, Bitcoin potentially finding some support down here as well. Let's see if we get some weekend relief, but I'm not going to try and, bull post us back to all-time high. I think that's a very long ways away from now. Let's focus on protecting our capital right now. Yes, there will be trades in between, right? If we're in a downtrend, right, what's nice is at least we're getting some volatility, right? If we're downtrending, but we're getting some nice swings to play, who cares? We can make money. But you got to be careful with your spot holdings, with your altcoins and stuff like that, because I just want to be clear, things can get uglier before we get better. I personally don't think the bottom is in yet. Maybe we get some relief for the weekend, but ultimately I'm still targeting a little lower. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I have no problem buying back higher once we've reclaimed some levels, which we've failed to do so. We haven't reclaimed any significant levels in the last 2 months. So I would like that to change before I start, aping into massive margin long trades. You're going to see a lot of people talking about catching the bottom, catching the knife, things like that. Not something I suggest you fuck around with. I think you're better off being cautious, playing defensive right now, and preserving that capital. I think that's the most important thing to do. I am going to try and pump out some more videos over the coming weeks just to, hopefully help you guys out and give you guys some of my thoughts as we, continue to, potentially dump or whatever, but just get some more content out for you guys so the price action stays more relative. And so you guys have an opportunity to kind of see my thoughts live. So maybe they'll just be quick videos like this. I mean, I know this video is going to be 30 minutes or whatever, but quick videos, unedited, that I can get out same day, so the price action is more fresh and it's not a video I recorded on a Tuesday going out on a Friday kind of thing. I still will be doing my altcoin series and some future educational videos, and I appreciate the support you guys are giving me on those, and obviously the Sunday streams, but maybe just more kind of market updates I can pump out for you guys. We'll have to see how many I can do. Maybe I can do one a day. I don't know. Stock market, very ugly fucking candle. Kind of reminds me of this fucking candle here, to be honest with you, but I would not be surprised if we see another nuke on the stock market. This would be the most obvious level, I think, for me to see price to come into 42.70, run this low here. I think that seems like the draw based on how this chart looks right now. Yeah, we are into this order block here, but looking at this fucking candle, I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole until it comes lower, or it shows that, there's going to be some actual recovery and starts reclaiming some levels, like reclaims this low here. Get back above there, then I'm interested in longing again. But I think this, another 3, 4, 5% drop on the stock market would equate with, a much larger drop in crypto. Obviously, generally, we're the higher beta of the assets, more volatility, right? More volatile. So yeah, hopefully this video is helpful to you guys. Stay safe out there. Everyone have a good weekend. Don't worry about the charts. Get outside, get some fresh air, clear your mind. There will be opportunities to, if you lost some money, there will be opportunities to make some money back. But I just want to, make it clear to you guys, what I think and kind of some high time frame potential targets and just things like that. And yeah, if you got any questions, obviously let me know, and maybe I'll fire up another video tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys on stream on Sunday. All right, thanks, guys.